content alert.
Call the standby because we are short-handed tonight. This is Late for Changeover, your weekly space news and variety show. I'm your host, Marty Smith, and I'm joined by my co-host, the man in the closet, Jake Wall.
Good to see you, Marty. Good to see you.
I know, you're steady Eddie, baby. We're here to bring you the latest headlines and updates pertinent to all Guardians and to our Earthbound branches as well. So take your seats, get informed, and have a laugh as we present Late for Changeover. So, we got 3 people out tonight. You know?
Nice.
God, what was it? We got 3 people out. That sounds like a movie line from somewhere. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, they're all DNIP. Duties not including podcasting. So Teapot's out in Disney World, I think, right? Juan worked late, and Eric's getting drunk somewhere up north Denver. That's what he told me. Well, he didn't say drunk, but I added that in. Maybe they're all
excited to see Kevin's commemorative tattoo right next to the Michigan Blue M.
Oh, yeah.
Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Maybe he'll get his kids with the Disney ears and their name tattooed on. You know what I mean?
Good.
Yeah, it's like the old fighter pilot thing, right?
You basically just go find a minivan at a Walmart and that Disney tattoo, boom. Or that Disney sticker right there, just tattoo it on Teapot.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, but maybe he already has a Disney tattoo, and now he's just putting hash marks every time he goes, right? It's like service chest, right?
Like going to Sturgis 2024. Disney World, Magic is Tour.
In a strange way, I'd kind of respect that. I kind of be like, okay, you are committed to this motherfucker. That's for sure. All right. I'll tell you.
All right.
So,
method to cover up his hip scars.
Oh yeah, it could be right there. All right, so let's go. Let's go through a few stories, Jake and I. This is it's always good. We've done this a couple times, just you and me, right? Because I think Eric's usually in another country when we do this. So
I know
he's usually pretty reliable.
Excuses are getting lamer.
And they're getting later and later. Like it was just like a couple hours ago. He's like, "Hey, I'm not gonna make it."
I'm not gonna make it. Like,
okay.
I had to floss extra hard today. Okay.
I said, I texted him back. I said, "You're gonna shoot with us Saturday, right?" And he goes, "No, I can't make that either." I was like, "Okay." All right.
He didn't buy tickets though.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
And he did. To be fair to him, he said, "I don't
he
know."
Said same. Yeah, I didn't really get a solid reason. He kind of waffled on that, but
that's the last you're going to hear me defend him. He's still a big vagina, and I have very little respect for him. And he really needs to work on his quads.
Well, wait till the new Mr. History campaign comes out. Oh. I'm looking forward to that photo shoot. So hopefully next week we can get some
calendar. Get your calendars.
Can we come up with 12 pictures? That would be awesome. We could hawk them. That would be so funny. Because Vistaprint will make that pretty cheap. So.
Oh hell yeah.
This week we got that. I can't even remember what it's called, but it's for Freedom Hunters. We're going to do that fundraiser for Freedom Hunters, and so hopefully next week we can have some spliced interviews with some vets out there. I hope that guy in the wheelchair is there again because I'd love to talk to him, get him on video. Yeah, he was funny too. Yeah, he was funny.
I should have got that guy. Like, as a grown man, I've never been like, I should get that dude's number. That guy. I should have got that dude's number.
I know.
I had a good time hanging out with him.
And when you I think you texted me afterwards. You're like, "Did you talk? Did you give him?" And I was like, "No, I didn't. I should have." So hopefully he's there again. But it's a fundraiser for Freedom Hunters, which takes disabled vets out on hunting trips. So we're going down to Silver Creek Skeet Range and do a little cowboy golf, as they call it. Because I can't remember how many stations there are. 10, maybe? I can't remember.
There was a few, man.
And you shoot about, oh, shit, that's right. You might have to go buy some shotgun shells. That's a lot. I forgot. I forgot it was a lot.
It was more than 10.
It was like 100 rounds we had to go through, I think. Or shells we had to go through. So you might have to go buy some. So I rescind that offer of helping you out. I'll bring some extra, but I don't think I got that much extra.
So many. I got like 23. Okay.
Yeah, I made you feel pretty good there for a while, but I just on air just rescinded it. So
it's one all right, let's now have to do.
Okay, let's go and let's knock out some of these news stories real quick. From spaceflightnow.com. NASA and God damn it. See, this is so difficult for me.
Here we go.
I know, it's so difficult for me. NASA and Boeing further delay the Starliner Crew Flight Test launch amid an ongoing helium leak review. So 2 weeks ago, when they were supposed to launch Starliner, which is with its first manned crew, they aborted the launch like 2 hours before, saying that there was a helium leak in the Centaur upper stage. Right? So they have pulled it back, and I think they've solved it, but they're still looking at what caused the pressure problem in it. So they're still reviewing it, and now they're saying it's not going to launch any earlier than the 25th. So don't hold your breath. Now,
I mean, it goes to show you that SpaceX, man, again, like, I don't know whether he just gobbled up all the great engineers like he did at Operation Paperclip, or what the hell he did. But
good pull, man. Mr. History would be proud of him, but he'd have to look that up, though.
Oh, Mr. History, Operation Paperclip. Either way, like, I don't know whether Elon just gobbled them all up, or
that's
his way of.
Yeah, it's a good point. Now, with NASA, there's a ton of red tape, right? So if it wavers, let's say the engineers fixed it and they're like, it's within tolerance, and NASA goes, yeah, but we'd like it a little more in tolerance, and they're like, well, we're going to have to pull this shit offline and do a lot to get it to where you want it. So that could be a problem. That's probably.
So, I mean, an acceptance of risk then?
Yeah, right. And I think their acceptance of risk is minuscule, where SpaceX is blowing shit up left and right, and they're like, okay, don't do that anymore. Let's try it this way, right? Yeah. Well, I'm about
they learn well from their mistakes too.
I think so, and I think it's not as government-run agency, right? If there's some, and their whole process, and everybody feeding into that process slows that process down. I think. I mean, it's good, but it's so lengthy. So I think SpaceX is a little bit more streamlined and probably more open to other ideas. And they're like, look, we got to stop doing it this way. Why? Tell me why. Well, this, and this. And they're like, that's good. Okay, let's stop doing it this way. Whereas NASA would be like, well, we got to change the regs, and that's got to go up and back down before we get approval on that. So maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
It would be interesting to find a cost per launch. Like.
Yeah. Good point.
Including his explosions, including all the R&D, and see what NASA's business model is compared to his business model.
Sure. It was interesting as I was looking this article up, and there was a video playing talking about Boeing's Starliner and kind of some of the history of why NASA went out to look for a couple different companies that could take our astronauts into space. So they did some, and part of that video was this congressional hearing back in 2013, right? With this Air Force general who was trying to explain that they didn't have enough money. Congress wasn't giving them enough money to try to meet the deadlines. And it was a great interview. I mean, he wasn't just whining that he didn't have enough money. He was answering the senator and saying, you want it by this date? We don't have the money or the manpower to get it to that date. So you keep cutting our budget, and he got as good as he received, right? But he was making sense. Go
Was
ahead.
that the same interview where he was like, it's also the problem of here's a bunch of money, go get this done. And then 2 years later, or 2 years or 3 years into a 5 year process, you cut off all my money.
It might
And
be.
then expect me to pick back up exactly where I
I
left off
Yeah, I
three
think so.
years after where you cut off all my money. All my other guys got jobs. They all left. They all
Everything, yeah, it was
yeah.
very
I think
similar to
that
that.
was
I
that
think,
same
yeah,
interview.
yeah, it was like 2013. It was an
Yeah,
old one. He was testifying to Congress. I think that might have been the same one, and he was spitting realities to him, and he was like, "Look,
yeah,
I'm just calling Basel strikes, man. We can't do it with the budget that you're leaving us." So, and he also made a comment, like, "Oh, I wish I had written down the number." The amount of money it cost us to fly astronauts on the Soyuz. It
oh
was it was
yeah,
unbelievable. I don't know, 40 million, something like that, for a to hitch a ride on the Soyuz. It was something about up around there. And his point is like, you want manned missions flying out of the U.S. instead of paying Russia for launching our guys. Yeah,
yeah.
we want to save that money too, but you can't skimp on our budget. So anyway, that's why NASA went out and was trying to find new manned space missions. So the Starliner spacecraft was selected alongside SpaceX's Crew Dragon capsule to become the two vehicles NASA would use to transport its astronauts to and from the ISS. Boeing and SpaceX received 4.2 billion for Boeing and 2.6 billion for SpaceX, respectively, for the development work and the first 6 operation missions. SpaceX, now remember, Boeing is still trying to get astronauts up into space with Starliner.
Yeah.
But SpaceX launched its uncrewed demonstration mission in 2019 and the 2-member crewed Demo 2 flight in May 2020. So SpaceX has already put astronauts up there. To date, Dragon, which is SpaceX's capsule, has flown 53 people across 13 missions.
Nice.
And 4 of them were non-governmental private flights. Boeing, on the other hand, Boeing's orbital flight test in 2019 ran into multiple issues, including a software problem that prevented it from being able to safely dock to the ISS. The second orbital test flight was delayed a year due to a corrosion problem in some of the propulsion system valves. I'm glad they found that.
Mm,
But
yeah.
how long has it been sitting up there, right? Uh, Teams were optimistic about a 2023 launch of the Boeing Starliner, but the mission was delayed until 2024 as they worked through questions concerning the parachute's soft links and either mitigated or removed about a mile of flammable tape within the spacecraft.
The only tape they used on that thing was flammable. Jeez.
Well, they got a bunch of 3M masking tape that they're wrapping around that thing.
They soak it in lighter fluid first.
It's and maybe SpaceX had these same problems that weren't publicized. So I don't want to get too down on Boeing.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they still haven't put
But
one up, and SpaceX has
you,
put 53 people up.
well, and then to be fair, right, with that whole Dragon capsule thing, I don't know exactly. I mean, wonder when it came in existence. It's in the last
well,
15 years.
well,
10 years even, probably.
let me see.
How long has he been launching that thing?
Since 2019.
Good night.
Yeah, so that they did the demonstration in 2019 of that Dragon, and that
But
was uncrewed in 2019.
yeah, but Elon early on he said that was his goal because we had
Yeah,
to launch
yeah,
to
yeah.
replace the shuttle, and he wasn't working that many years on it.
That's true. But I mean, I guess it's that whole thing.
But I mean, I
It's
guess
like
he had stable funding.
let's get well, true. He had got maybe a
And
couple
stable
billion. I mean, but if you let the engineers, do their job and hear them out, rather than worry about timelines, maybe you can unlock the potential of this whole thing.
Yeah,
And you
well,
can see the stark difference between the two, between SpaceX
yeah.
and Boeing. Whatever happened? Remember that The X Prize. Remember the X Prize way back when? What was that, 20 years ago? When the government threw it out to civilian companies to win the X Prize to put our astronauts into space. And it was this
Oh,
competition for several years, and I don't know who won it. It wasn't SpaceX or Boeing. So
yeah.
I don't know what happened with that. So, but I thought it was interesting that Starliner is delayed again, while SpaceX is just, they're like, who else you got? We'll shoot them up into space, man. There was another story about SpaceX about how many launches they planned over the next year out of Vandenberg. Did you see that? And they're like, this is so many launches. This could affect our environment out here, because they wanted to go up like 300%. I don't know how many launches that is, but they're just like, do it. So I guess that's what you got to do, and it's amazing.
Weekly launch almost,
Yeah,
at least.
or a couple a week. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's done a couple in a day. So.
Yeah.
But that's good. I'm glad they're competing. If it was, imagine if nowadays it was still under all government auspices, we'd still be hitching rides from other countries. So
Yeah.
okay, this next story is kind of interesting. It's another startup story. I like these startup stories because I don't know where they're going to go. But these guys are playing around with millions of dollars and like 20 people, and they're like, here's our concept. Okay, well, go try to develop it, right? So this is from Space News. Oh, shit. See? You gotta at least tell me to change the banner, right?
Oh, change the banner, man.
This is spacenews.com. This is a company called Inversion Space. Inversion Space targets military market with, quote, warehouses in space. So Inversion Space is a startup founded in 2021. It's setting its sights on revolutionizing military logistics with its concept of warehouses in space. The company envisions deploying reusable re-entry capsules to store cargo in orbit and delivering it to any point on Earth within an hour. So my question is, they're launching these up. I don't know how long they stay in orbit. But then they're like, okay, we need this. All right, deorbit number 12, whatever it is. And they go. So, or is it just launch, glide low Earth orbit, and then deposit it? I don't know.
We did an article like that a while ago.
We did. Right.
I thought this one sounded like more basically on orbit spares, or
kind of like it's just floating around. When needed, we'll deorbit it. I got that gist too. But they have a diagram here that, I don't know, maybe it threw me off. I don't know.
Once again, though, deorbiting things into other people's area, like in other countries or other areas.
Right. Are we that pinpoint yet? Are we that close to pinpointing it yet?
No, but you got to think about it as an adversary. I don't want you deorbiting anything in my country.
Well,
around my country.
Isn't there a sovereignty? I don't know how high up it goes, right?
Oh,
because they're like 3 miles offshore or 7 miles offshore, whatever the disputed thing is.
Pilots,
straight up, right? Straight up. Yeah, right. I guess it only goes as high as you can see something.
Yep.
If all you got is naked eye, then I'm like, okay, you don't go that high. So, a Pathfinder mission dubbed Ray is scheduled. Ray is scheduled for launch as early as October on the SpaceX Transporter 12 rideshare mission, funded by Inversion Space's $10 million seed round. Ray will test technologies that will support the development of a larger capsule. So here is Ray. All right.
Okay.
And this is from Inversion Space's site. That picture is hard to tell what that is. That's a little bit easier. But there's a spacecraft piece attached to it, right? The Ray is, I think, the gold piece or the gold and white piece. I'm
the
not
re-entry capsule looking.
Right. So that's how big Ray is going to be. It's 20 inches. It's only 20 inches because it's a Pathfinder mission. They're going to do some.
Only 20 inches. Don't besmirch Ray.
Good point.
Solid
Yeah, good
20
point.
inches.
That is a size. Oh, it's bigger than me. So yeah, I salute that. But here's the diagram that kind of threw me off. Right, and this is from Inversion's website. So it launches, the cowling comes off. There is the spacecraft in number 3. Number 4, it flips. And then 5, I guess it launches Ray. So you see the little capsule there, part that comes off, and then it comes down on parachutes. I don't know how accurate parachutes are. You know what I mean?
You
Like
do?
we were just talking. I don't know how accurate they are. But if you're talking about pinpoint drops,
I just finished an audiobook about the history of the SAS, the early history of the SAS.
oh yeah,
They're talking about parachute ops and people in World War II, right?
right.
People
right.
are spread all over the fucking just
Yeah, because you're going with the wind,
everywhere.
right? You go with the wind. Yeah,
Yeah. And I mean, maybe it's adjustable and precise or GPS assisted.
Or maybe they don't come out till. No, that doesn't make any sense. I was going to say maybe they don't come out till a low altitude, but the guys we were dropping.
somehow.
The guys we were dropping into Normandy and Market Garden, they were at a low altitude too, and they were spread all over the fucking place. So, but let's say, all right, we need ammo. All right, we need emergency resupply of ammo, and that shit drops on the wrong side. You're like, motherfucker.
Right?
So I don't know. Interesting. I think it's interesting. CEO Justin Fiaschetti said Inversion envisions itself as a warehousing and transportation company. We would store cargo in space. So I guess it's more like it's going to be orbiting. So yeah,
That's what I thought about it. Yeah.
we would store cargo in space, and when it's needed, deliver it in under an hour. Well, I don't know what orbit it's in.
It's got to be low.
It's got to be Leo, right? But there's no Leo stationary, or is there?
No,
I don't think there's Leo stationary, right?
They would have to time it, and
So they would have to have a lot of capsules up there to guarantee an hour, or to say we're going to have it in an hour, right? He said the capsules could transport anything from medical supplies and battlefield gear to small surveillance drones. Because drones, they're making them out in the field. You know, we already did that story. The 25-employee startup believes its vision of orbital warehouses and rapid delivery has a viable future. People are already spending money on transportation. Fiaschetti said, "Let's give them a better way to do it." So I got it. It's interesting. It's cool. It's a cool concept. I mean, imagine if you needed medical supplies, blood. You know, I don't know. Could that work?
Well, I don't know. I doubt that because that's. Imagine the shielding and everything, like, or just instantly freeze and instantly thaw, and
That's true. Right.
the temperature variance.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I was looking up the low Earth orbit's 128 minutes is their orbital period.
Oh, is there orbit? Oh, okay. So you could,
So
yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah, you get a couple
So
packages
if
up
you
there.
had multiple,
Yeah, at opposite ends. Yeah, you could reach an hour easy.
yeah.
And you just hit the.
I mean, but that's rotating around the Earth, so you'd have to have
Yeah, right.
a bunch. But
Boy, that ground crew would be fucking on it, man.
man, our tracking,
It's amazing.
just with Elon and space and Starliner and OneWeb and all these freaking things, those tracking guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their mission has gone nowhere but busier and busier and busier.
And the initial analysts too, right? Like,
Oh yeah, to try to put those,
verify everything's exactly what they say is.
but they got to put those warnings out, right? Those oh shit, what were they called? When you had there was
approaching.
Yeah. There was a term for it. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, I don't remember the term.
It's not near miss, I know, but it's kind of that way,
Yeah.
right? And I mean, maybe it'll come to me. So good on Inversion Space for thinking outside the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now here's a setup I was telling you in the pre-show.
Oh.
So I run that, or I am one of many administrators on the Space Force WTF Moments Facebook page.
You just outed yourself.
I did.
Get all kinds
Well, this
of
is where I
haters.
put this out at. This is they know it. Those who watch know it. So the Army, Ken Eisen or Ice, he posted, or Army WTF Facebook page posted that the story about the I think it was an E8, so a master sergeant, black man in the Army, shaving waiver, good looking beard, and it's not unkempt. It's well kept, right?
Yeah.
But he
nice.
did a TikTok video about the leadership opportunities that he has been denied because he had a shaving waiver. Right? So he posted that out there. And the comments hit the proverbial fan, right? And they're like, yeah, I've known guys who are great leaders. Who cares about the shaving waiver? You know, we shouldn't even have the beard. We've been asking for this for years. I don't know anybody who was asking for a beard for years, but that's all right.
Oh no, Marty! People have been smoking in beards for a long.
Yeah, but they knew they couldn't get it, so they're like, why ask for it? Right? It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
but that
hey,
was
Sarge.
on the list,
I know.
a wish list.
I don't know. I never heard of it as a wish list. Like, hey, I would have re-upped if I could have just stopped shaving. You know, I never heard that wish list. So, all these people came out in like defense of beards, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. Now his point is that just the way he looked, and there's people who are going to discriminate against him. Right. You can't help it when you're grown up in a military environment and you see somebody without a beard. You can't help that thought to go, hey, fucking lazy.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
With
How's
a
he
beard, with a
how's he
shaving
getting
waiver.
away with it? How many times as many times as I got yelled for not shaving it at fucking 4 PM when I shaved at 4 AM, I was like, it's just growing back, and they're like, fucking shave that. I was like, how many times I had to take camel paint off my face so I could shave, or you're shaving at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning to go make formation. By the time you hit formation, it's already growing back. And like, did you shave today? It's like, yeah, but that was 4 hours ago. You know? And then the guy is just like, yeah, I got a shaving waiver. You know, and it's just like, ooh. So it's hard to breed that out. It's hard to get that thought of you're scamming the system out, right?
Yeah.
I
That
think,
is the
for me,
difficult thing. And I
yes,
can
for me.
understand why he would think that has falsely affected or negatively affected his career.
He probably was. I don't doubt that.
And I know it's a medical thing, right?
Right.
If you have a push-up waiver or if you have a boot waiver,
yeah,
those are both medical things.
Say you got shin splints.
Will disqualify you from certain jobs, certain activities.
That's right.
I'm not saying shaving waivers. I mean, it's close.
It's hard to make an equivalency, except for the equivalency is
and it's only
here's the
appearance, it doesn't
standard.
affect your job.
Meet the standard, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it is, right? And it's I know guys who look chubby in their uniform but could outrun most of the unit. I get that. But you look unfit. Well, look at my PT score. I know, but you look like a tub of shit.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. Right. It's not fair. But there's an appearance or there used to be a professional appearance, upholding standards. Hey, this guy's inspiring others by his look. And now you got this big shaving waiver thing, right? So people are backing this thing aggressively. So
maybe we're just crusty and times are changing. We're like, all right.
Well, but his criticism was of the old timers, and they're like, they're going to discriminate me against me, and it's like, Yeah, because they had 16, 17, 18 years of no beards, right? You meet the standard. And maybe it's hard to shave for you. Maybe it's hard for this guy to run. Maybe it's, whatever it is. But if you overcome whatever it is to meet the Army, Air Force, military standard, okay, hats off to you, right? It's the same. It's almost the same argument as women doing the military job. If you can do the job, nobody gives a shit if you're a woman, right? I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth. If you can meet the standards, if you can run, if you can lift the projectile, if you can do the maintenance, and you don't need any other assistance, if you can, you can do your own ruck march, great. Nobody cares. It's Starship Troopers shower scene, right? Nobody cares if you're all meeting the standard. But part of that is, right, now we're bending the standard, right? So I put, and this is what this whole lead up is to this, what I hope is funny. I think it's funny. So I made a comment and said, quote, why stop at beards? Why short hair? Why uniforms? Why not smoke pot? A slippery slope we're on, right? That's what I put out there. Just trying to say, look, how many standards are we going to bend? How many standards are we going to change? If we need to change the standard, let's change the standard. I don't have a problem with that. So there's a ton of hate that came my way, especially under the Space Force moniker, right? You page through all the Space Force hate comments that came back. And then one guy commented and said, oh, the old slippery slope fallacy. He said, beards and pot are very far apart. I was like, okay. Well, that leads me into this next story.
Dancing, right? Premarital sex, children out of wedlock, drugs, beards. It's all on the same thing.
It's all right. But he said pot's not even in the same, what are you throwing pot in there? Well, that leads me to stripes.com article. Military recruits are, the proposal is military recruits would not be tested for marijuana anymore. So maybe pot is not that far away, right?
Federally, they're changing it, right?
I don't know. Are they changing federally? It's still legal federally, right?
Yeah,
but there's half the states that have it legal. Oh, did they? Yeah, they lowered it. Yeah, they reclassed it. Right, they reclassed.
I mean, and we talked about this years ago, where we're like, hey, with this many states going medical and recreational, you're over half. You're gonna have to make some federal plans.
Right. Right. And I don't want to
how it affect the clearance, how it affect recruits,
sure,
people that are already in.
Sure.
I mean,
well, I wish we had the other guys. We could do a whole show on this one, but
that's a good one.
Anyway, new recruits and incoming officers into the military would not have to undergo mandatory cannabis testing under the House's version of an annual defense policy bill. It says must pass. I don't know why they put must pass. It never passes. So,
yeah.
The draft of the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act bars the services from requiring an individual to submit to marijuana testing as a condition of enlisting or commissioning. Representative Matt Gaetz, a Republican from Florida, attempted to add this provision last year's authorization bill. So he got it on this year. Supporters of the measure believe it will help the military attract recruits at a time when few young people want to or are eligible to serve. I don't know if the pot users are the ones you want joining them.
No, but it's so prolific now.
Right.
They stopped the recruiters. Remember when we were initially recruited, and we're like, have you done anything in the last 10 years? You're like, right. I'm 18. When I was 7? No.
Well, looking for the security clearance. The security clearance is like in your whole life, right?
Yeah. And now, though, recruits are like, Has it been 30 days?
Right. That's that, and it addresses that policy. But what was the phrase you learned for at least a security clearance? Right? It was like, it was experimental. One time, that was it.
Oh yeah,
right.
Experimental.
Represent. I still haven't got the experiment right. I will get it though.
I'm trying. I've been testing it.
Matt Gaetz said last year, "I do not believe that prior use of cannabis should exclude Americans from enlisting in the armed forces. We should embrace them for stepping up to serve our country." Okay, I got that piece of it. Right? You used it in high school, fine. You clean, you're good. Come on in. I get it. Military has long maintained a zero-tolerance marijuana use policy, but has revisited and loosened its rules in recent years as more states legalize the drug. The Air Force and Space Force began a pilot program. This is what we covered. A pilot program in 2022 that allows some recruits who test positive for THC to retake the test after 90 days. The Army, Navy, and Marine Corps also gave applicants second chances to take a cannabis test, and the Navy announced in February that it will no longer send home recruits who test positive for marijuana upon their arrival at boot camp.
Oh, man.
So they're already in. And they're like, "Oh, you're hot for pot?" They're like, "Okay, just go sleep it off." Right?
That's a sign. In a lot of ways, the military is really reluctant and slow to change.
Absolutely.
But in a lot of other ways, the military is ahead of its time.
It is a crucible for experimentation. That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know.
If
in my mind, the amount of stuff we did when we were drunk.
Sure.
Well,
somebody brought that up in that article.
Use it if it's alcohol, if you're not if you're not drunk on crew, if you're not drunk on, driving home, if you're not doing that, if you use it like you use alcohol in the same kind of situations.
Because we know it's out of your system, right? We know it's out of your system quick. What was that? What was the phrase? 6 hours, bottle to throttle, the pilot phrase, or whatever that shit was.
Yeah.
Got it. Can marijuana wash out? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if you tested positive for drinking, right? If you're drunk on duty, we throw the book at you. If you're high on duty, we throw the book at you. So, but it's easier to high. I don't know. I don't want to dip my toe into that because
I have no idea.
I don't either. So the article says a 2021 Rand Corporation study of the Army's marijuana waiver policies showed recruits who received waivers for testing positive for cannabis or admitting to past drug use performed no worse than other soldiers. Yeah, I get that. Right? I get it.
No worse.
No worse.
Shitty. They're not even worse than them.
You are a shitbag and you're sober. You are a shitbag and you're high. Good job, guys.
At least he's got an excuse. You're just a shitbag. You might want to think about this. It's worth a shot. You can't get shittier.
I think I'm torn between. Maybe you should stop smoking too. Maybe you might be better. Actually, you might be better. In fact, I'd rather blame it on you being high than just you being sober and being as bad as you are.
Give me something to talk about.
Right.
This guy's just a fucking idiot.
And he's not high. He's not drunk. He's not nothing. He's just a goofball.
He's just naturally that dumb. Impressive.
I don't know. I'm torn between the adapting military to try to get whenever they say the new generation of kids, that's the first time in 200 fucking plus years of the military that we've had to use that phrase, right? I mean, do you think
they had to do tattoo waivers? They had to do.
All right, let's look from World War II to the Vietnam guys. Did the military lower their
smoking weed all
Well,
over
yeah,
Vietnam.
but did the military lower their standards to get people in?
Yeah, they did the draft. They were like, have 10 days
Oh,
of training.
yeah,
And now
that's a
go
good
fuck
point.
over there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I forgot about that. They knew they were taking criminals. That's true, because the judge was like, "You're going to jail or you're going to the military? What do you want?" I was like, "Oh, I'll go smoke pot in Vietnam." I guess. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
We're not yet to prisoner status. Okay, we're like no GED and pot smoking. Okay,
Yeah.
give us a year and we'll go to prisoner status.
You know, and on another note, I always thought the tattoo thing. I think the tattoos are excessive now, but when I was coming in, you know, the whole restriction on officers having tattoos, I was like, come on, what kind of officer are you trying to produce here, right? But you know, that was the rules. That was the way we did it. So we played by it, right? But now they're just like, oh yeah, come on in. Yeah, I mean, you can be tattooed. I mean, it's hard to readjust to going, okay, military used to be spit and polish guys. Like those guys we did on the story of Mar-a-Lago, right? When those guys were standing tall with Mar-a-Lago, you didn't see them covered with neck tattoos. You didn't see them with the beard.
Old Navy guys, though. Tattoos are a real strong Navy history.
I always thought it was funny to be like, "Oh, you got too many tattoos, you can't come in the military." Or you're perfect. You can come in the military. We'll get you more tattoos.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They've got to do something. I get it, but I think lowering the standard is going to be hard to recover from, because once you lower that bar, how are you going to raise it back up, right? Who's going to want to come in the military after, like, there's a bunch of pot smoking, neck tatted, long haired fucking freaks in the military now. You know, I'm not going to join that. I'll join the World War II military, where it was hard. You know, I don't know. It's weird.
A big ebb and flow kind of thing. Like,
I guess so. Maybe that would be interesting to see if, like what you
tightened
just
it
said,
all down after Vietnam. Right?
They did.
So, like,
yeah, it took to the 80s.
Like
to
Vietnam,
do, right?
they were way down,
Right.
and then during Cold War, they cut everybody out and tighten everything up.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we're just kind of on that back down swing of.
I think there's a lot more truth in why people aren't joining up that the military is not publicly acknowledging. And when you go, okay, like we talked pre-show, look at Afghanistan. That's not a great reason to join up, right? Let's look at all the stories about the guys who were in, who the military's not, or the VA's not compensating for them. You know, how many more diseases can we add to the list of somebody who has served that is going to debilitate you later in life? You know, all those things have a cumulative effect, I think. And it's, you know, especially when you look at we haven't been involved in a formal war, yet these guys are being deployed everywhere, man, all the time, right? Yep. So it's interesting. It's. I'm not sure if what you're doing is. I think you're using the military for your purposes, but you're not. The military does not appeal to a sense of patriotism anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. And not even the Guard or the Reserve are safe from that deployment stuff, right?
Right. When those guys are like, I don't want to deploy, I'm joining the Guard.
Alabama Guard that get those guys. What?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They just died in Jordan.
Right.
A couple months ago. They were Alabama National Guard, I think, or something like that.
And that begs a question.
Do the Guard's up and active, and we're not at war?
And that's where.
Come on, guys.
You know, we're going to have beginning of June. We're going to have General Chris Petty on, right? The big Guard guy.
Yeah.
So I want to ask him what he thinks about all this stuff, because You're right. That's supposed to be. They're supposed to be for state. Why are they going for federal missions all the time?
Federal missions overseas.
Overseas, that are guard guys, man. I remember when I think I've told you this story, but when Desert Storm was coming up, we had to go train our round out National Guard Brigade before we could deploy over to Desert Shield, right? Desert Shield, Desert Storm. And so they activated the Louisiana National Guard artillery guys, and they did not want to be activated, right? And so as we were doing this 2-month train up with these guys, and these guys were like, I don't want to be here. I do not want to be here. This is not what I signed up for. And you're putting me on active duty. I'm away from my job. I'm making E3 pay when I was making more of my civilian job. And you guys want to send me to war? It's like, I don't really want to fight. So I've seen that, and I respect that. It's like, that's not the contract you signed, So anyway, we'll see what happens to that House draft bill. It sounds like it's probably going to pass. I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, there's been such a lessening about marijuana. Now, I don't know how to think about marijuana. I don't know if it's. I mean, it's not reefer madness, like it used to be, right? We all know that. But it's just another one of those hits. Like, hey, the military adapting. I don't know. Are they adapting, or are they just trying to make concessions to get numbers?
Now, I would also equate this similar to prohibition of alcohol.
Kind of, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
On base, you couldn't buy beer during, you couldn't buy anything.
You couldn't buy it on Sunday. Definitely, you couldn't buy it on fucking Sunday. Right? Yeah, right.
Now
right.
you can buy it on base. You can buy,
anything
drink on base. They have
anything
clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely going to have to seriously look at and consider the rules.
And the people who are advocating for this have a good point. They're like, and one of the comments that I read about this not turning away people from marijuana use was like, hey, okay, marijuana is one thing, but you go out here and you drink till you're blotto, and we allow that, but we're not going to allow a guy to get a little buzz from a joint. And there's a lot of validity to that, and I get it because I saw some destructive alcoholics, man.
Can you imagine if they had a dispensary on base, like a Class 6?
Is that right next to the Robin Hood?
Yeah, right next to the haircut.
Right, and a dry. So you got dry cleaning, you got your dispensary, and you got your $20 haircut.
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, we could be heading there. We could be heading there. What was it last year? No, was that almost a year and a half ago when we were joking about the revamped MREs, right?
Yeah,
wasn't that? Remember that? I wish I had that clip, man. I should have prepared for that. I should have played that. That would have been awesome. The oatmeal bar is all laced. Yeah, that would have been great. I mean, there you go. There you go. Calm down, you guys. Calm down.
Laced brownie or an oatmeal cookie in every MRE.
Be a lot less stress on the battlefield, A lot less productivity, but a lot less stress. So maybe it cuts down on PTSD. Who knows?
You can only do it after taps or after retreat, right?
You can eat your dehydrated pot bar, but you still can only have 3 drinks. So. All right, let's finish this out, my friend, and do a little bit of history, sort of, right?
Okay.
But I want to compare these 2 stories, and I want to talk about this. I don't know if we can do this in 10 minutes. Probably not, because we're going to go off on it. But I'd like to compare these 2 stories about quote unquote aces, and interestingly, both of these stories were from taskandpurpose.com, only a couple days apart. So I found that curious. Okay, so the first one is great. Is a great one. It's about a World War II triple ace. So an ace is five, right? So he's a triple ace. Bud Anderson, the last World War II triple ace. He died at 102 years old. He died last week. Right? One of the last masters of the air has died, Brigadier General Clarence Emil Bud Anderson, credited with downing 16 enemy planes over Europe in World War II. He died this past week at his home in Auburn, California. He was 102 years old. So he was right out of college after we entered World War II. He enlisted in 42. He was an enlisted guy. He became commissioned as a second lieutenant. He went to Europe in 43. He was assigned to the 357th Fighting Group. He flew P-51 Mustangs. His plane he nicknamed Old Crow after the bourbon whiskey. Right? In the first 5 months of 44, he shot down 5 German planes, earning him ace status. He rose through the ranks, serving 2 combat tours. By the end of 44, he'd reached triple ace status, won several dogfights, and by the end of the war, flew 116 missions. So he shot down 16 and a quarter German fighters.
And and it's fighters, so they're
fighters.
They're
not
you
bombers.
And you're hunting them.
Correct. Right.
Yeah. So,
See, he had the third highest number of enemy aircraft kills in the 357th Fighter Group, which alone took out nearly 700 German planes. That's amazing. They should definitely get more credit for that. He served alongside fellow fighter pilot legend Chuck Yeager during World War II. Why haven't it? I only know Yeager as a test pilot. I don't know any of his history. That'd be interesting to see or to hear. The two were close friends that would both serve as military test pilots after the war. According to his website, Anderson logged more than 7,500 hours in the sky, flying more than, here we go again, Jake, flying more than 130 different types of aircraft. Those guys back then are like, hey, just like your, was it your uncle? Or,
my uncle, yeah.
Just put me in a cockpit, I'll figure it out, you know. It's amazing. That is so amazing.
I guess it's flying, but
yeah,
just to think of the difficulty you have getting in to a new car, brand new right off the bat. Car.
The seat's not right.
The seat's not right.
Why is the turn blinker on my?
Let alone there's no designated switch location.
No, it could be anywhere. Right.
Yeah. So the driving dynamics are, unique to their own airframe, but switches are different. The freaking everything. But
the error you might make in a car you're not familiar is, okay, you might bust a turn signal off because you think it's a wiper blade. The error they make in the air is a lot
more. You can pull over. You're like, okay, this is getting crazy. Just pull over.
I mean, all of a sudden you're in an inverted dive because you thought, oh shit, that was the wrong way to go. So, the margin of error is a lot. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Very impressive.
What a bunch of men, man. However, he wasn't done fighting after World War II. In Korea, he led an F-86 squadron after the 1953 ceasefire, and then an F-105 squadron based out of Okinawa. During the Vietnam War, Bud Anderson again was in combat, flying 25 missions while in command of the 355th Tactical Fighter Wing, flying F-105 Thunder Chief. That's a great name, man. Thunder Chief, named Old Crow 2.
No, nice.
His wing focused on bombing North Vietnamese supply lines along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Anderson retired from the military in 1972 with the rank of full bird colonel. In 2022, Anderson was given the honorary promotion to brigadier general. Badass. Yeah. All those guys are badass back then.
That's freaking crazy.
But that is cool. So, triple ace in the air, dogfighting, shooting down 16 German planes. Now let's compare this to another story out of Task and Purpose.
You set up like that. You're already
Yes, I did.
These poor kids.
I will caveat them. Good on them. But the story goes 10th Mountain Division gets 3 new aces for drone kills. Okay?
You got to change your banner for your. I remembered.
God damn it. God, I don't have a banner. I did that last week. I did that last week. Well, that's all right. Nobody's going, hey, I tuned into Inversion Space, and you guys were talking about aces.
Marijuana banner down there, and they're talking about a 104-year-old.
True. Sorry for our 10 guys watching. Sorry about that. All right, so let's compare Bud Anderson's triple ace to the 10th Mountain Division gets 3 new aces for drone kills. The U.S. Army has 3 new aces. They aren't part of a helicopter crew, but rather artillery soldiers who took out more than 24 enemy drones while deployed to the Middle East. Now, let me first say, for Staff Sergeant Daniel Smith, Sergeant William Turok, and Staff Sergeant Henry Davis, all assigned to 2nd Battalion, 15th Field Artillery Regiment, 2nd Brigade Combat Team, 10th Mountain Division. Badass. You guys shot down a shitload of drones. That's awesome. Like 16 apiece, something like that, right? Now, I don't know if they did that with their rifles.
I think the article said 5 apiece.
No, it was more. Well, yeah, to get an ace. But they shot down more than that, right? They
shot down 28 drones.
28. Look at that. One-way drones, right? So they were kamikaze drones. But did they shoot them?
You can't say that.
Oh, you can't? You can't say that anymore?
I don't know. I don't understand why we don't say it.
Yeah, one-way drones. It's
drone
kamikazes. Everyone knows what a kamikaze is, right? Yeah. One-way drone, is that like a delivery and it's just not going back?
Yeah.
And now you get your package and a drone? And you're like, oh, great. Yeah,
delivers face explosives. Oh, look at that. Thank you.
Thank you. I would refuse that delivery.
Which one of you sons of bitches?
You know, if it was dropping eggs on you and it was like, that's a good one. Good one. That's a good one.
You got me.
But when you put C4 in there, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, C4, not friendly.
Yeah, not friendly. That's enough. That's enough.
Yep. It's getting rude, guys. Don't burn up the toilet paper. I'm kind of pissed.
Burn up the toilet. If you know, you know, right? Yeah, if you know, you know. Ah, shit. So anyway, good on these artillery guys for shooting down those drones. I wish they would have told us. Are you shooting them down with just your rifles? Because that's fucking badass, right? Yeah, drones coming down and you're taking them out. That's awesome.
They're artillery guys.
Well, if they got a rifle, right? Yeah.
Well, I know, but
they got to defend themselves.
We gotta. Yeah, exactly. So they did good. They shot down this stuff. And then, but it's not. Did the ground crews running anti-aircraft missions who shot down planes, they didn't qualify to be an ace. We got to come up with a different word for it.
The problem is they called them aces. And this is not the first article that did that, right? This is like the second article I've seen where they're calling these guys aces for shooting down drones. Is the military getting less and less and less creative? I mean, we used to have such cool names for like everything. And we can't come up with some other name for shooting down a drone than an ace, which compares him to Bud Anderson shooting down German Messerschmitts. You know, that's not fair. It shouldn't be. So maybe we should go on a campaign, or maybe we should ask all our commenters, what's a new name instead of ace for shooting down drones? Imagine if we got like some great suggestions and we could throw it up there and the Army was like, hey, who is this swearing in podcast? They got a great name for drone shooting downers.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be. So, so if you're out there listening, come up with a new name instead of Ace.
I'm sorry, Marty. I did a little tiny bit of research, though.
Oh,
the term ace just refers to that anybody in any specific expertise who has multiple kills. So you can have sniper aces, you can have those kinds of
really?
Aces. Yeah, what we're thinking of is flying aces.
Well, sure, that's the most popular. That's the most.
That's the most popular.
Right.
And so maybe I guess it fits. It's still, to me, I'm like,
it still would be better if it had its own name. Yeah. That would be awesome,
Because I mean, did the flight crews get ace awards?
Right, the Stinger guys. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, where's Eric? Oh yeah, he's freaking sauced up in the streets of Denver.
But how about the submarine? How about the submariners? Did they get? Are you a submarine ace if you sink 5 ships? Now I don't know if they've sank 5 ships, but
those U-boats did.
The Germans had a lot
U-boat
of aces,
guys
right?
definitely got their ace.
So ace is for any. What was it again? So multiple,
but it multiple kills in your expertise.
Huh. There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not quick enough to do it right now. Not after 3 beers. So, but we'll think of one. So anyway, I good on Bud Anderson. Good on those 3 NCOs. Good on your research. Now you've totally shut my whole mocking right in the ass. But that's good because I didn't. But I didn't realize that ace. Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah. So good on them. They are aces.
Yeah.
Right.
It denotes a successful military professional who has accumulated a meaningful, measurable statistic, such as aircraft shot down, tanks destroyed, tonnage sunk, number of successful sniper shots.
Wow, you could be a sniper ace. God, that sounds so weird. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've shot.
But then the terms most commonly applied to flying.
Right, flying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was going to try to mock that, but I should be.
We could still mock it. It's still bullshit. I appreciate what they did, and I have no idea how difficult.
I'm going to think all week now for a new name for shooting down drones. So because I think we need it. I really do think we need it. So
there's got to be something.
Too bad.
Thunder of the sky or something like that.
Oh, it's got to be something like, I don't know, cartoonish or something. I don't know what it is. Or anime or something. There's probably a phrase in anime that'll be applied. So
I'll go do the research.
They probably love it. Yeah, the young guys will probably love it. That's the new army, right?
I don't know.
They're high and they got big Japanese anime eyes.
And they're yelling and everything.
And just shit going on.
I'm like, fucking A, it was 10 feet. Get there already. Jeez, guys. Okay. How breathy are you going to be when you actually start fighting?
That's intensity. You got a whole bunch of E1s and E2s going, look at these old men. They don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly. Who cares? I'm having fun.
Shit. Let's end up, man. Let's end up without the whole crew. On behalf of Jake and I'd like to thank you for listening today. Please like, share, subscribe, and let us know how we did in the comments. And give us a new name for a drone downer, right? No, well, yeah, I did, right?
The person who shoots down one-way drone.
I mean, that the one-way drone was going down anyway. It just didn't deliver its payload, I guess, right?
How do they know they successfully shot it?
Ooh, because it's going down. They're like, oh, it's in the ground. It was a one-way drone. I got it. Yeah, that's mine.
Echo did.
Jake, thanks for showing up, man. thanks for being here. To our guys who are taking sick days, hopefully you come back. We'll see. But for everyone listening, thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.